I think some people were worried that, watching him over the course of this campaign, he sort of moderated to the middle as we got past the primary, walked a couple things back. I think what people were worried about was if he got elected, he'd like Scooby Doo take the mask off and reveal like the dark Marxist inside, or, whatever, project whatever you want onto that. But do you imagine that he will carry on as the Mamdani he's been in this general election, or do you imagine he'll reveal more of the DSA, side that he started in politics with?
Well, I think, we already talked about his speech, his victory speech, and that certainly was much more in that mask off bucket. So it was an interesting choice. It felt a little immature, but on the other hand, people want authentic young candidates that behave that way. So that's part of his success as well. We have to acknowledge that. I think we've seen who he's surrounded himself with. Lena Khan is certainly not a moderate by any sense, but she's well respected, I think, across the political spectrum. And obviously somebody who's very much a technocrat, very much understands how government works. So I think if he leans on those folks, it'll be interesting. Obviously, some reporting out about his internal rift with Brad Lander to some extent. So I do wonder how his movement, that left movement, stays aligned. What I would advise, though, to Democrats, whether it's, the NYPD who's pushing back to some extent, or Eric Adams saying he's going to pack the rent board, don't do those things. Let Zoran Mamdani fail on his own if he's going to, because the left has been so insistent on him being their trial balloon, their litmus test. As a moderate, I will take that bet because I'm not too confident he's about to prove to us that the far left socialist agenda is viable and is successful. So if you want to do that referendum, don't give him the excuse. Don't give him the scapegoat of saying everybody was out to get him.
I'm concerned, though, SC, about that kind of thinking. And I appreciate it, though. But, a lot of us have kids here. We're raising our families here. We're talking about that the mayor is so powerful that really it's about life and death a lot of times, or some of the decisions that he's going to make that are going to impact certain communities. I hope that he surrounds himself with people that have experience, who understand some of the dangers in many parts of the city, and won't allow for the extremists that are part of the group that he rose through as a member of the DSA take charge of life and death issues in New York City. It's very concerning, which is why so many of us were concerned. So I hope that he just doesn't fail on his own. I hope that we could somehow create a buffer to avoid some of those failures that are sure to happen.